It started with a notification, just a ping. No sound, no vibration, just a red banner that hovered in my field of vision. You've been selected for digital deletion. I blinked. Thought it was a prank, some glitchy spam app. I tapped to dismiss it, but it didn't go away. In fact, it replicated. Across my smart glasses, my phone, my home interface, every connected surface, even my reflection in the mirror had the same glowing message etched above my head. I didn't understand what it meant, not really. At first, I thought it was some kind of system purge, maybe a cloud cleanup, or a joke. But that night, I tried to log into my work dashboard, and it was blank. No history, no schedule, just a single message. This profile is scheduled for deactivation in 72 hours. Access suspended pending full deletion. I called IT. They couldn't find my name. I contacted Human Resources. No file on record. I checked my banking app. Account frozen. No warning. No fraud alert. Just gone. By morning, I couldn't order food. I couldn't book a ride. I couldn't even open my apartment door. The biometric lock scanned my eyes and blinked red. Unrecognized user. I wasn't hacked, I wasn't scammed. I was being erased. Legally, systematically, permanently. I ran to the nearest government citizen terminal. You know the kind. Sterile white walls, artificial empathy in every voice, the illusion of assistance. I stood in line behind a man applying for a virtual license to grieve. Yes, that's a thing now. And a woman trying to add a second child to her permitted family quota. When it was my turn, the clerk asked for my citizen ID. I gave it. He typed, frowned, typed again. Then slowly stood up and walked to a back room. No explanation. 3 minutes later, 2 men in black jackets walked out and stood on either side of me. "Sir," one of them said, "we're going to need you to come with us." I asked why. "You've been selected for digital deletion," he said. "You know what that means." But I didn't, not really, not yet. They took me to a gray building on the edge of the city grid. No signage, no windows, just a door that opened for them and slammed shut behind me. I was processed, scanned, interviewed, not like a criminal, not like a patient, more like a liability. They sat me down in a glass room and turned on a hologram. It was my digital profile, laid bare, my browsing history, purchase patterns, emotional sentiment analysis, every recorded conversation, every search, every keystroke. And then came the judgment. "Your behavior patterns have been flagged for destabilizing inconsistencies," said the voice from the ceiling. "Not a person, an AI protocol. Calm, cold, certain. You have expressed opinions outside the approved range of optimism. You have declined mandatory empathy training twice. You have interacted with outdated philosophical content. You have questioned the reliability of happiness metrics. You have posted anonymously more than 3 times. Your tone analysis reveals elevated sarcasm, skepticism, and distress." I wanted to scream, but the room had no volume sensors, only biometric ones. They didn't care what I said, only what I felt. I asked them why this was happening. The AI responded, "In a networked society, instability spreads faster than truth. We don't delete people. We delete anomalies." Before I tell you what happened next, ask yourself this. What part of your digital life do you think is safe? Hit like if this future feels too close for comfort. Subscribe to 205X Stories for more cautionary tales of what happens when systems forget you're human. And stay to the end, and because the way this ends is how you could begin again. I begged for a second chance. They said I could appeal through the emotional reintegration protocol. I had to submit a daily proof of alignment, gratitude statements, joy verification logs, and simulated acts of kindness submitted through biometric capture. I tried. For 2 days, I smiled into a mirror that didn't smile back. I recorded affirmations I didn't believe. I clicked like on stories I didn't read, but it wasn't enough. On the 3rd day, I received my final notice. You will be digitally deleted in 12 hours. Please prepare for social disconnect and memory erosion. Thank you for your participation. I didn't know what that meant. Memory erosion. Turns out, when they delete you, they don't just erase your access. They erase other people's memories of you. Your name vanishes from conversations. Photos with you are blurred. Mentions of you are filtered out from feeds. Even your family receives a version of events where you simply moved away. Quietly, peacefully, unremarkably. I tried to contact my sister. Her number was still in my analog notebook. When she answered, I said, "It's me." She paused. "Who?" "It's me, your brother." I don't have a brother," she said, and then she hung up. The deletion had begun. My face stopped triggering facial recognition systems. My biometric tags stopped pulsing. Even my shadow seemed dimmer. And then I stopped seeing myself in reflections. That's when I knew deletion wasn't just about data. It was about being removed from the shared consciousness. I ran. I found an underground network. People like me. Half erased. Ghosts. Invalids. They told me the truth. That every month the system runs a societal optimization sweep. People who don't match the emotional algorithm, people who resist neural alignment, people who ask too many questions. They're culled, not with violence, with silence. We hide in analog spaces now, disconnected from the grid. No smart devices, no implants, no profiles. Just memories held together by stories we tell each other. Because once no one remembers you, even you start to forget who you are, and that's the final deletion. When you start to believe you never existed at all, some stories aren't fiction. Some warnings come dressed as optimization. If this shook you even a little, subscribe to 205X Stories. Like this video if you've ever felt the system doesn't see you. Comment below, what would you do if your digital footprint started to vanish? And share this story with someone who's glued to the algorithm. Because one day, that algorithm may decide you no longer belong.